Yo, Salman, guys. I'm in Newcastle and it is scorching hot. Like, yes, I don't know. The sun seems closer this side of the world. The reason why I'm back home in KZN is I had the privilege last night to speak at our school's awards evening, prize giving. I think that's what they call it these days. And they had their academic and culture awards. I had the privilege of being invited as the guest speaker. Cabang. Cabang mina bazo-invite mina. But it was an absolute privilege. I'm extremely humble because of that. So shout out to everybody at Newcastle High. Shout out to Manuel Govender, who's the headmaster, doing a phenomenal job. Shout out to the staff there. Shout out to the parents. And then obviously shout out to all the kids that got amazing awards and all the kids that didn't get awards, you know. And that leads me to my chat today, because the whole speech that I had was highlighting 2 points. The main one being don't give up, and the second one being about the journey. Hashtag the journey. I was plugging myself. But it's something that I really wanted to talk about today around, throughout the speech, I'm actually talking about my journey and I was talking about my failures. And, a lot of people will look at me and they'll judge me and they don't know my story. They don't know Guti. I was born on the side of the road. As my mother was trying to walk to a clinic. They don't know that I grew up in a very abusive household where I'd see my mother like being dumped by my dad. You'd see those things. It was crazy the how it shapes your mind walking to school as a 5-year-old. You get crash and it was like a 5-kilometer walk. And I know to some people that may not seem intense, but come hail, come sunshine, come snow, it doesn't matter. You walking to school because there's no cars. So that's now uncle we haven't lift club. We didn't have that. So it was such a challenge as a child, and it continued into my high school years, and I know I had other privileges. I get that. Of course I had privileges. You have different privileges. But the reality is that I also had so many challenges. And I kept on saying, guys, I went through this. I got to high school. I didn't get this right. I was failing here. I was struggling here. Excuse me. I didn't make that team. I didn't feel good enough. I had inferiority complex. I have this brother who is bigger than life, So imagine you are this little 13-year-old and your brother is the head of this and he's rugby this, and it was so overwhelming for a little person, and you those dynamics that you had to navigate. Some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Some people, hashtag Solange, knows what it's like being in Beyonce's shadow. So for people that don't understand those dynamics, it can consume them, Plus coupled with that, would say, I'm struggling with my maths, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. It eats you, But the aim is to not give up. The aim is to be relentless in your pursuit of whatever you're trying to do. And again, you're speaking to kids who are getting 80%. You're speaking to kids who are leaders of the schools. I'm a prefect, I'm a head girl, I'm a head boy, And I wish I had an opportunity to speak to the greater school, to speak to the kids that aren't invited to academic prize giving, to speak to kids who are not getting awards, to speak to kids who are not my prefect or my head boy, because the message also spoke to them. In fact, more to them than it would be people that have achieved. Because if you're getting A's your whole high school career and then you become head boy of culture or academics, whatever the case is, you already have that confidence of, I'll become something, I had that privilege because I became leadership in my school, and I was a deputy head boy or head boy of culture, whatever you want to say it. I was chairperson of the RCL, all those accolades, playing first team. I get that. Those are the privileges. But with that being said, there's so many things and shortcomings that people don't see. I was extremely privileged to go to Rhodes University, very, very prestigious institute of higher education. But at the same time, I'm fail, guys. I'm fail. Me, I was chasing girls left, right, and center. And again, to a point where failure was around the corner. Ngafail. Erot bafuna ukungixosha bathi no ungabuyi wena wisdom yafail. And I had to beg. Please, can I get let me just tell you the quick story about the Rhodes. Sorry to digress. And I want you guys to just frame yourself. So I went to Rhodes in 2007. That was my first year. I'll never forget the day I was meant to go. I had this big bag, and I went from Ekhaya Access Central in Newcastle, for those that know, and I had to walk by myself to a rank, which is a walk. guys, believe me, you're talking about 4Ks walk, pulling this big bag. Ngangeni taxi because I was hoping to catch a taxi from a rank to Joburg, which is a 3.5 hour taxi with this huge bag that you either buy a seat, of which I had no money, or you put on your thighs. That was me. So the taxi decides to fuck up and break down halfway through. So we had to wait for another taxi to come and fetch us to take us to Joburg. Obviously, the bus left me. I had like, I don't know, $50 in my pocket. You know, I like 50. Again, it's not like I'm calling my mom. She's sending through, yeah, EFT. There's no my e-wallet. There's nothing, you know. So again, single mother struggling. I've got like $50. I literally had to ask people. So this is as in share pass 20 rand, 20 rand, and people put money together. I think it was like 120 rand to get a bus to the city bus to PE. And for those that know, PE is still like an hour and a half from Grahamstown. So now I had to hustle to get to Grahamstown. And I remember I spoke to the bus driver, you know, and he made me sit on the stairs. I don't know if you know the bus, on the stairs of the bus, because I said I'm going to give him $50 when I get to Grahamstown. Luckily, again, I had my brother waiting for me once I got there. You know, brother gave me $50. I gave the bus driver, I said thank you. And then I got into, I was in Grahamstown. I'd never been in Eastern Cape. I'd never been to Grahamstown. I never saw pictures. There was no Instagram where you can see, there was no Facebook where you can see pictures of how it looks like. The best that we had was that pamphlet, that prospectus, whatever it's called. And yeah, that's it. I got there. I had no res. I had nothing, you know. So luckily I could stay at my brother's then girlfriend's parents' place, which was like 1,000,000 kilometers from campus. So every day I had to wake up and rap to get to campus. Yo, guys, like I think about it now with my bag, you know, I walk, whether it's raining, it's sunny, it doesn't matter, I walk to campus. I've got nowhere to stay. Well, I've got no res. I'm staying so far out of campus. I go there, I register, I go to the faculties. I remember I tried to apply to get into res, and I was like 75th on the waiting list or something like that. And I went again at the end of the day just to see what number I was on. And I remember they bumped me up all the way from 75 all the way to 74, a whole day. And I went there on a Tuesday, and after on a Tuesday I was doing like 73, and I went there Tuesday afternoon, 73. I went there Wednesday, 72. Wednesday morning, I remember when I went there on the Wednesday afternoon. I remember as I got there, the lady who was in charge of res, she closed her door of her office and she acted like she was on the phone. And she's like, because it was a glass window. You know those offices with glass windows? You know, and she's like, no. Like, because she was done with me. I was there every day. And again, knowing me, I'm there with a big smile. Morning, Miss Wicks. How are you doing? Just wanted to know. You know, she's like, Penzin will let you know if anything opens up. Penzin will let you know everything opens up. I went there Thursday morning. She closed the door. As I walked past on the Thursday afternoon, I wasn't even going into her office. I was just walking past the admin block. I remember her calling me through the glass window, you know, and she called me through, and I then ran. I ran to get inside, you know, like, hey, what's happening? Hey. And she had a little piece of paper, and she had the res, like Guy Butler, and then she had someone's name that she had scratched out. And she's like, someone had cancelled, whatever the case may be. Someone had cancelled, and there's an opening for me. Yo. And she's like, Benson, don't tell anyone. Just take this paper, run to admin, fill in details, and then go to your res. And I was like, what? I said, say less. Went to do the things, went to my res, and boom, got in. You know, got in. I went from number 68 to getting a res. And again, it was just like the story that I was trying to explain to the kids was to not give up. I went there every single day. I went there twice, 3 times a day. I went there all the time. Even when she was tired of me, I still went. Yo, I went. Didn't matter. I went and I went and I went and I went and I went. And I was like, I'm not going to give up on this. I can't give up on this because I'm giving up on myself. You know, I spoke about university and the partying and the drinking and the girls, you know, and the boys, for those that are on that hashtag no Diddy, you know. But yeah, man, it was crazy. And I was one of those people, like in my 2nd and 3rd year, I was partying, I was chasing the girls. Ngafela, guys. Yo, ngafela. I remember I was home in my 3rd year. 3rd year in terms of academics, 4th year because of, you know, fail. But like, I remember I was home the 1 December and I get like an SMS. So at Rhodes, they give you an SMS with your results. And I remember the SMS, and it was like written, I think it was F4. F4 is like an NR, no return. you know, and they were like, you're not coming in because your marks are not good enough, you know, failile wena mos, so funanda. And I remember how ashamed I was and how embarrassed I was. Like, I never showed like my results to my mom. I lied. She's like, "Hey, boy, come back and university." And I was like, "Oh no, mom, see, sub." So I lied and I said I got a supplementary exam, you know. And this was like December. And I remember I was thinking, what am I gonna do? Because varsity opens again in Feb, you know. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I know Guti during like the first 2 weeks of the year they have like subs. And I was like, let me go hustle one. And I got onto the bus and I went. Didn't tell my mom what's happening. I just went. You know, I went there. I never had a place to stay at that time. So again, I went to a house master. I'm like, can I get just a room to stay? He's like, look, we're cleaning everything up. They've taken out the beds. I was like, it's perfect. As long as I've got something over my head. And I remember I went in the room and it was just a carpet. Just an empty room, thing of this with just a carpet. No pillow, no sheets, no water. And I lied to him and I said, no, man, I've got bedding. Don't worry, I'm sorted. I just needed a roof. And he's like, okay, are you sure? I was like, yeah, sharp. You know, all I had was the clothes on like, when I'd sleep, I'd like fold like a jean, put it as a pillow. And then luckily it was Jan, so it was still quite warm. But it was crazy because again, I've got no money. So you make do with what you have. You go and you buy, if you guys know like a spa, they have those savory loaves that you buy for like 10-15 rand. I'd buy one of them and I'd break them into 3, breakfast, lunch, supper. And I bought it dailies, lettuce, and I was like, I'm going to stay and hustle. And I went to every single lecture just asking and begging for a sub. I went to every professor. I went to every HOD that you can think of in any faculty. And I just got no's, no. That's all I got. Hard no's. And eventually I was so broken. I was like, okay, you know what? I tried. I'm going to go home tomorrow. And I'm just going to let Oleti know, which is the situation. And I remember as I was walking back to Res, I was watching boys play soccer. And I remember I could see the one boy that was playing was the vice chancellor's son, you know. And I go and I flag him. I called him. And we're sitting and I'm breaking down. I'm like, hey, Ntwana, this is a situation, you know, please can you help me? I just want a meeting with your dad. You know, maybe he can help me. So he's like, hey, I'll try, bro, but I don't know. So eventually he sent me a WhatsApp and he's like, yeah, no, my dad said he'll give you 5 minutes of his time. Come at this time, go to his office. I went. Got into his office. Huge office. Fucking massive thing. And I sat down. I was so scared. I was intimidated. I was shitting my ass. And he looked at me and he's like, Benson, but you had your opportunities and you failed. You failed, bro. Like, really. You're not the first one. Every year we have thousands and thousands and thousands of kids that don't come back. You know, so you had your chance, your opportunity, and you squandered it. I begged. And eventually he's like, you know what? I'm going to try, but I'm not promising anything. So just take this as a no, but I'm going to make 1 or 2 phone calls. I was like, yes, sir. And I remember I went back to Res, slept, and I woke up. I think there was a phone call. I think it was 6:30, if not earlier. And it calls. And I answer, I don't know this number, my bum. Goes, Benson, I go, hello. He's like, this is Dr. Salim Badat. Hey, okay. Okay, how are you? He's like, look, I've managed to get you a sub for sociology. You're writing tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the sociology department in the Banbani's office. Hey guys. I remember running to the library. No shower, no eating, no brushing teeth, nothing. I was just chowing the books. I was literally there the entire day. I studied the entire day, the entire night to a point where when I was done, it was the following day. Obviously, you take naps on the desk, you wake up, study. Because I knew this is my last chance. I went and I wrote like a 3-hour exam at 8. Trained. After my exam, I remember I walked and I booked a bus ticket for later on at 4:30. And I went back to my res, packed up my stuff, and then took a bus and went back home. A week goes by, no results, nothing. Another week. So now it's going to the end of Jan. And I remember I think it had to be like the first week of Feb or something. I remember getting an SMS, Rhodes University. And you scroll down and it had one letter. P. Hey guys, I promise you, my eyes were just full of tears. My eyes were full of tears. I was fucking air punching, and I just went straight from seeing that thing, started packing. He's like, oh, Toby, but university is not opening till now. Hey, ngiyahamba mina. Ngibuyele varsity. It was my chance, guys. And I remember how that had a mental shift, because when I went back, yes, I was a monster. This is a guy was getting 40s, now all of a sudden I'm getting like 70s, 80s. Everything changed. And the whole story was me trying to explain to the kids last night, with you guys, we all fail. We all fail multiple times. And the thing about failure, once you're down, it tries to keep you down. Fucking puts its knee on your fucking neck. Hashtag RIP George Floyd. It really does those things. And you fail and you fail. And I've got thousands and thousands of stories of me failing. Thousands and thousands of me failing. And again, the whole aim is, we fail. And you will fail again. And you will fail again. And you will fail again. And those failures will fail. The aim is to not give up, no matter how hard things get. And I try to explain, this journey called life has ups, has downs. It has wins, it has losses. It is all seasonal. Guys, today it might be your winter. I know it's tough. I promise you, I know it's tough. Tomorrow there's summer, tomorrow there's spring. Then next week it's winter again. Everything is under control. I've got this. You find out that your girl just cheated. Oh, you get married, things are beautiful. Oh, your wife is pregnant. Then you find out it's not your child. All of a sudden, there's businesses are going well. Over this COVID. All of a sudden at work, you're thinking, you just got promoted. Next thing, the company's bankrupt and they have to let you go. There's always going to be turns in life, guys. There's always going to be. It's seasonal. You might be winning today. Tomorrow you might lose. And then you might win again. Just try and persevere through this journey. Enjoy the ups. Fight through the downs. Don't give up, guys. Let me know about your stories about not giving up. I know it's hard. I know we cry in the shower. Sisters, I know it's hard for everybody out there. Please let me know. Comment below. Share this video if you think it's going to be beneficial to anyone. If you're not yet subscribed, please guys, go and subscribe. Press on, hit that notification bell. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Out.